I'm so glad I'm here today. So just to start over some few words about the artist. So Clerk of Eldin was born in Pennywig in 1728. He was a prominent member of well-educated family, and this wealth and well-educated background just allowed him to get involved in a variety of activities. He was the seventh son of second marriage of Sir John Clerk of Pennywig, the second Baronet. So his father was a distinctive member of the town. He served as a lawyer, he was patron of the arts, and was also a prominent Scottish politician. He studied law at the University of Glasgow and became a member of the Scottish Parliament. Sir John Clerk of Pennywig was interested in antiquity and arts, so that's why he specifically regarded drawing an essential skill. So he supported his son to get into it. So besides his father, other relatives and friends of the family were also prominent figures of the era. And Gordon Brown notes in his prologue of the Book of Pettram that Clerk inherited talent and vision. As he stated, quotes, the tastes and preoccupations of fathers were passed down to their sons, who maintain and develop these same interests while adding others. Here something of the continuity will emerge and see a great chain of drive and energy and taste and talent united 200 years of virtuosity. So that's how he described his work. And John Clerk of Eldin was a curious traveler and amateur artist, and I believe that this later point lies the excellence and importance of his albums. His circle of friends encouraged his interest, and he traveled with Robert Adam, who was his son-in-law, Roll Sandby. So these three together started going on drawing trips around Scotland and Wales, and also helped his friend Dr. James Hatton to his work, The Theory of Earth. So his latest journeys actually was to support his friend's concept. John Clerk's work is an exceptional contribution to the history and culture of Scotland and Wales. He provided valuable insights into the topographical and geographical features. His landscape drawings helped this navy and other important sectors of the British state, as John Bowenhill stated in 2017. These works of art are also enlightening concerning the history of traveling and tourism. Generally, the tradition of amateur artists like John Clerk shaped an important part of artistic production as a useful tool. And lastly, as John Bowenhill mentioned, drawing was a polite accomplishment, thought of as polite and useful, morally improving, as well as instructive. John Bowenhill, 2020. So Rachel, maybe we can go on. Okay, so this is the cover of the first sketchbook I was cataloging to this work placement. So as you see, I wrote some details of 26 pages, 36 drawings. It includes handwritten inscriptions, which was very helpful for our work. And the medium is like a pencil and ink on paper, mostly. This sketchbook was generally very good condition. It didn't miss anything like the Scotland sketchbook that we see next up. It misses its cover. Maybe we can, Rachel, move on. Okay, so this is an example of what the sketchbook includes. This is generally one of my favorites. It includes 3 drawings, a marketplace of Carmel, Lancaster from the north and Lancaster from the northeast. You can see also the measurements. So basically, the sketchbooks was challenging, providing numbers for every page. Because the arrangement of the drawings were different in every page. Maybe some of them were like this one, or maybe applied to both pages I will see next to the presentation. So just to talk about the procedure, the first task was to photograph them, and this is the original photographs of my from my archive, and take the measurement of the objects. The record sources were priority, as you can imagine, as they offer flexibility and convenience to thoroughly observe every drawing at a computer screen. And these provided to be great help due to the outbreak of the pandemic, because it didn't allow us to work as usual. But because of the photographs, we were actually capable to continue our work. And the next phase, as I say, was like, thank you, Rachel, was to number the pages, but actually some drawings occupied 2 pages, while specific pages included 3 diverse pieces of drawing, like we see to the previous one. And we created an independent, reliable system from museum database in order to be able to go back and research every drawing. So that was a manner that was carried out to the both of sketchbooks, both Wales and Scotland sketchbooks. The most creative part for me was to describe it and create physical description of them, which was also demanding. So we created a word, firstly, in order to analyze the most important parts and common details of every drawing for its sketchbook, and a table that included the images, and then a comprehensive description of every content materials. So to do so, I just researched and compared various resources available online for us, mostly online, because we only have access to a few books before the pandemic from the library, and compare some resources from the National Gallery of Scotland and Tate and British Museum. So this research helped me understand the vision and the identity of the creator, and helped me to distinguish his work's special characteristics and contribution. An informative source was the book by Geoffrey Bertram I mentioned before, written in 2012. And also the etchings of Clerk of Eldin was a reliable guide, and online catalogs created by curators from the British Museum, and help us support the purpose, which was to provide simple and reliable catalog entries, easy for the future researchers and members of the museum to handle. And also references were an important element of the descriptions in terms of verification and enrichment of the provided information. The main description was original observation, but supported by the accurate sources I mentioned. For example, the cover pages were verified by an explanation of colors included in the description of drawings produced by Samuel Palmer of British Museum. I mean, the blue color you saw at the cover of the first Anne Wales sketchbook. And finally, certain titles emerged from the existing handwritten inscriptions by John Clerk in the drawings. I hope you can really see them now on screen. Maybe Rachel, we can move on. Yeah, that one doesn't have one, but probably the next one, yes. The next one is one of my favorites too. It's Ponderbread. He probably created this between 1777 and 1783. So we know that he traveled to Wales around 1766 in Isle of Man, and with his friend James Hatton in 1788. So finally, certain titles emerged from existing handwritten inscriptions, but for those who didn't have any information, we just created the titles from scratch, like architectural grand plan or landscape with castle. Maybe we can move on. So that is the Scotland sketchbook. That misses its cover, which was originally a soft brown leather cover. Yeah, so it has 34 pages, 13 drawings, with also handwritten inscriptions, pencil and ink on paper, mostly. That's Edinburgh Castle. It was pretty important to research the history of the regions he visited and the specific places. For example, the bridge we see here was destroyed 4 years before this drawing was created, and we actually have a document of how it was rebuilt. Maybe we can move on. That's another, mostly like preparatory. We think that it's not completed, but there are all these drawings have similar others to the National Gallery Scotland that can be compared and see more information. Maybe we can move on. That's Loch Etive, has inscriptions, and it's very important to see here that the shore is like very detailed, and we have noticed similarities in the technique with the drawings he provided for James Hatton, The Theory of Earth. Maybe next one. That's Elman Stacker. He really depicted this landscape many times, and none of them like they're similar, but there are also depictions of this castle, the specific castle of National Galleries of Scotland. The next one. Yeah, so basically this is me. I was so happy to participate in that work placement, and I also can provide bibliography or other photographs for anyone who's interested to research or just watch the rest of the images.